Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and in this video I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the Shadowland Tarot by Monica Bodirsky. Alright, so I'll show you the box first. So it's a really cute box, and it's got a magnetic flap, and it opens up to reveal the guidebook. And I'm going to show you the guidebook in a sec because it's really good. And then here are the cards. And I love the backs of this deck. For some reason, it's always really important to me what the card backs look like. Like, I always want to like the card backs. So I was really excited when I saw this deck because the card backs kind of remind me of Halloween. And Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. Or I guess it's not technically a holiday, but you know what I mean. My favorite time of year. All right, so let's have a look at the guidebook first. So the interesting thing about this guidebook is that most guidebooks I couldn't really care less about. But this one, I opened it, I cracked it, I started reading the introduction, and I was just hooked right away. I was drawn in. And I think this is a guidebook that I'm going to read cover to cover. So I'll show you basically what it looks like. So there's a couple of pages for each card, and the cards are in full color in this book. She gives you some kind of information about that card, a description and helpful info. But my favorite part is at the bottom, there's questions for reflection. So for example, for the High Priestess, what esoteric knowledge am I seeking? Where do I look for this type of information? How can I own and use my spiritual knowledge? So each card has like these little questions for further inquiry, which I love. I think that's awesome. And yeah, a really, really great book. And I love how she really describes the concept of this deck and the theme of it. And yeah, I couldn't recommend it enough. So let's have a look at the actual cards. So card backs are cute. The deck itself is, I don't know what you call that. There's gold edging, gold edging on the cards. The card stock is quite thick and it's very good quality. And the finish is kind of a matte finish. So really nice card stock. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slowly go through this deck so you get a feel for these cards while I talk about the deck. So the whole concept behind this deck, and I love this particular Three of Swords, the whole concept is about our shadow and shadow work. And if you're not familiar with shadow work, basically your shadow is the part of you that you don't really show to the world. So it's the part of you that you maybe don't like, and you kind of keep it under wraps. You keep it hidden from most people. And there's even aspects of our shadow self that we even keep suppressed and keep hidden from even ourselves. So it's really kind of maybe even parts of you that are subconscious or unconscious. And the whole idea of shadow work is that you delve into these dark hidden aspects and shine a light on them so that you make them more conscious and you start to bring a sense of compassion for yourself and acceptance so that you integrate these parts of yourself. And the idea is that through that, you're able to heal aspects of yourself that you have rejected, and you're able to become a more whole, functional, happy person. So that's kind of shadow work in a nutshell. And it's interesting because, I love this one. I love the High Priestess. It's interesting because I'm just starting to really get into shadow work. I've dipped my toe into it here and there over the years, but I'm really starting to get into it. And I just started reading a book about shadow work, and then this deck came in the mail, and it was really the perfect timing for me to receive this deck. So I love the artwork on the cards. The artwork is by Monica Bodirsky, and I love it. Like I said, the deck kind of has a bit of a Halloween-y vibe. There's all kinds of monsters and little creepy creatures here and there. But I find that the artwork has a sweet feel to it as well. Like there's something playful and fun and kind of sweet about these monsters. They're not creepy. They're not scary. I mean, there is kind of like a dark aspect to the deck, but it's not dark in a disturbing way, if that makes sense. The creatures are kind of creepy, but also inviting. So this is the kind of deck, and I've only done a few readings with it, so I have yet to really get to know this deck. I have yet to really, truly explore this deck, and I can't wait. I can't wait to start working with this deck more. But the readings that I have done have been fun. They've been insightful. I feel like I can go to deeper places with this deck as opposed to some of the other decks that I have. And I feel like these cards really invite a certain level of contemplation. And they really invite you to kind of take your time and you know, explore the cards. I love this one, the Nine of Swords. Oops. Because the Nine of Swords basically represents your anxious mind or nightmares and fears. And I love how it's illustrated on this card. I feel like this would be a good deck for beginners. So if you're new to tarot, I feel like this deck sticks fairly closely to a lot of the traditional Rider-Waite symbols. So I think someone who's, you know, brand new to tarot would not have a really hard time with this deck. But there's also something quite unique about these cards that I really appreciate. This isn't like any other deck that I have, and yeah, like I said, I'm really looking forward to working with these cards more. I used this deck for my YouTube tarot forecast that I did last week, and this is actually a fairly easy deck to read with. I felt like it was an easy deck to read right off the bat. Some decks, you know, take a while. You got to get to know them. You got to kind of spend time with them. But this deck, I felt like it was easy to read with right from the start. One of my favorite things to do with tarot is to use it for self-inquiry and really exploring certain aspects of my life or whatever situation I find myself in. And I feel like this is kind of the ideal deck for doing that, especially with the questions that she provides in the guidebook. This deck is very colorful, which I appreciate. I like that. It's colorful, it's quirky, it's unique. It's not what I would call like a pretty deck, but it's appealing. It's visually appealing, and it's visually interesting. I guess that's another way of describing it, is it's like a very mentally stimulating deck. Like it really makes me want to dive into the cards and really explore them. I like this one. I think I'll be using this deck quite a bit. Definitely for my personal readings. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of journaling with these cards, but also I know I'm going to be using this deck a lot for some of my YouTube readings. So keep an eye out, stay tuned, because I'll definitely be using this deck in some of my videos. Okay, I feel like I've shown you these cards. Yeah, I think I'm repeating myself here. So yeah, really cool deck. I love it. And I'll show you the box again. So here it is. It's called the Shadowland Tarot by Monica Bodirsky. And I think it's perfect for those of you who are interested in exploring shadow work, but also if you're not even really interested in that, I think it's still a really cool deck. I'm going to put information in the description box below this video on where you can purchase this deck and where you can find out more information. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video unboxing, and let me know what you think in the comments. If you're intrigued by this deck, what you think, let me know. And thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.